What is up, everybody? Hello, and how are you guys doing? On today's review, we are going to be talking about The Curse of La Llorona. Woo! The Curse of La Llorona. And you don't know how many times I've had to keep saying that over and over. I want to say La Llorona, but it's La Llorona. There we go. And if you don't know The Curse of La Llorona, it's all about a Mexican folklore heritage haunted ghost figure that's elongated in history of Mexican history, basically. It's about a young woman who was jealous of her husband, and she decided to seek revenge by drowning her children, I believe, in a lake or a river, some sort of way like that. And basically she haunts other children. She, can be heard crying, and she lures the kids in, and then she basically takes them with her. So without further ado, we are going to get straight to the review. The Curse of La Llorona. Ignoring the eerie warning, a troubled mother suspected of her child endangerment, a social worker and her own small kids are soon drawn into a frightening supernatural realm. Let's get to what is good about The Curse of La Llorona. And the star of the movie, La Llorona herself, which the movie is named after, she looks exceptionally well. I love the design of her. I think it's really creepy, especially if you see her in shadows or if you don't see her sort of in the off distance, and she's got like the crying sort of mascara, the blackness, she's kind of wee gooey but kind of creepy in a way, sort of like this evil looking, like, mysterious ghost bride. So I love the way they designed her overall throughout this movie. I really like when she was on screen. She was kind of really terrifying to see at times in this movie. And also the acting is pretty decent for a horror movie. It's not, it's not bad. It's not exceptionally well, but it's okay for a horror movie. And I have to give a high praise to Ramon Cruz, who comes into the movie in the third act as sort of this witch doctor, faith healer kind of character. And I thought when he stepped into this movie, it brought new life. It was rather interesting. He was funny. He was just a character that you wanted to see more backstory with, as opposed to anybody else in this movie. Well, besides La Llorona herself, obviously. But I want to definitely see more of his character in the future, especially if they do a sequel in this movie. Let's get to what is bad about The Curse of La Llorona. James Wan, man, what the f are you doing with this Conjuring universe? I know you're not hands-on with all these type of movies, but this movie is pretty much a carbon copy of what you've seen with the Conjuring universe and a lot of horror movies today. It's the same beat for beat, silent jump scare, same tactic over and over again. It's stuff that doesn't really make sense. There's stuff in the third act that's kind of a mess. Especially some of the characters do something really, really just absurdly stupid. And the way this wraps up in the third act, oh boy, it is quite strange. The way you're just like, did I just fall asleep? Did I miss something? Like, what the hell is this? And it really does that in the third act. And what's a shame here is you have a Mexican folklore legend. Why not do this movie in Mexico? I don't quite figure why they just put it in LA. I assume it's in LA. I think that's what I've read. Why not in Mexico? Why not use sort of the creepiness, like some woods, maybe a river or a giant lake, and you have her kind of like floating and crying in the woods and drawing the children in. There's so many creepy elements that could have been done. Instead, they just give us a poor, basic spook house, haunted house type movie just set in LA in a normal like neighborhood. And even though I did not really care for The Nun, I have to say The Nun blows this in comparison, because at least The Nun had some creepy visuals. It had the church, it had the look of the time period. It drew you in. There was some certain shots in there that was very creepiness and ominous, and it added to the more lore and the creepiness that The Nun overall the movie projected. In this movie, it's like, hey, there's a bathtub, there's a mirror trick that you've seen before in other horror movies. They do have some decent scares in there, but it's not anything that you don't see coming. And I kind of felt like, why did they not get Guillermo del Toro to kind of produce or to be on board with this kind of movie, or at least even direct? I thought he would have did a standout job. Now, if you've ever seen his movie Mama, there is some stuff in there that's creepy imagery, and sort of this, just the story itself brings more depth and more beautifulness, if that's a word, to a haunting type ghost movie. But I could definitely see him taking La Llorona and excelling it to the next level. Instead, we get the director Michael Chavez, who is brand new to this. He is first time directing. Did an okay job with this movie, but not enough to see him do The Conjuring 3, which he is already greenlit to do the directing and some of the writing on that one. Not quite sure if that's going to be good or bad for Conjuring 3, considering a lot of this stuff in this movie was so-so. Yeah, it's a shame. La Llorona, you have a creepy Mexican legend ghost figure that haunted people for generations, and yet this is what we get out of it. A regular spook house, kind of haunted house type movie that you've seen before, done so many times before. And this falls in line with what the Conjuring universe has been just giving us. Just basic haunted house movies that have never been able to elevate or would stand on the same level as The Conjuring, and even The Conjuring 2, which I'm so on, but still, those movies have so much more care and thought to them, while these movies are basically just spitball, quickly done and shot out movies that just hold no substance in the end. That is my review for The Curse of La Llorona. What did you guys think? If you saw the movie, leave it down in the comment section. As well, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys on another video very soon. Peace out.